Good morning, traders. Welcome to this week's ELLIOTTWAVE Forex and Cryptocurrency Market Analysis webinar. I hope you all had a great week. The market has been trending, and obviously with all that is going on in Russia and Ukraine and the rest of the world, obviously the markets will respond and they react. That's why we see the market trending, and that gives us a lot of trading opportunities, and we have been looking at that over the past week. Right, before we get into the market analysis, if you have not already subscribed to our channel, you can do so at tradingwaves.com. So our channel is Trading Waves, and the website is trading-waves.com. So if you'd like to contact us, you can check out our contact details on all our videos. If you go to our channel, on any of our videos under the description, you will find our contact details as well as the links to our social media pages. You can follow us on Twitter as well as on Facebook. All right, so that's how you can do that. So if you check on the description, you'll see that we've got timestamps. So if you don't want to go through all the charts that we're going to look at this morning, you can just select the ones that you are interested in. All right, so those are the timestamps which will be loaded a couple of hours after the video has been uploaded. You can check it out there. All right, so let's get right into it, guys. We'll have a look at that. So let's start with the DXY. Now the DXY, let's have a look here at on our website in the chart that we have here. Let's have a look at the long-term view of the DXY so we can get we can kick it off. Okay, let's have a look here. Now, this is the DXY, and I want to show you why we are looking at the structure that we have right now. So this is the DXY structure. If you look at that chart, let's have a look at it. And I'm just going to look at the last string here. This is how we're looking at the DXY. So what we're looking at on the DXY is this big corrective structure, which we are looking at as an ABC corrective structure. Why is it an ABC corrective structure? It is 1, 2, 3 here. So that's 5 waves here, correction, and 5 waves. And we're looking at this whole structure as a correction. This is a weekly chart, by the way. So we've got that. So we have been focusing upside on the DXY to complete the other 3 wave structure so you can have this here. So it's simply going to be a big 3 wave structure here. I'm just looking at this swing here. Obviously, there is a clear relationship between this and the rest of the structure, and that's what I'm not looking at that for now. I'm just looking at this so I can give you perspective so we can understand what is going on here. So we know that we are bullish long term, so we'll only look for trading opportunities in the direction of the trend, and this is the direction of the trend. Right, so we're going to go down to the lower degree. So that is a weekly chart. This is our daily chart. As you can see now, with the daily chart, you'll see a bit of more detail here. We are on the primary degree in blue here, 1, 2. So what you have here is the wave 3 here. We're looking at wave 3 on the DXY. That's why we've been bullish looking for that wave 3. You'll see a bit more detail on the 4-hour as well. Let's have a look here. So if you look at the 4-hour now, you are seeing that detail under the blue degree. Remember the blue degree that we were on just now? This is the blue degree here. Now within the blue degree, we've got this yellow degree intermediate that is going like that. So that is your running flat there, and you've got this as a wave 3. And what we have currently, the leg that we're currently in, is the wave 5. We're trying to complete that wave 5, and you'll see that that wave 5 comes in this lower degree here. We are currently in this degree here. So what I'm going to go do now is I'm going to go to this string here on the live chart so you can see why we have been bullish since here. If you remember, even when the market was down here, we had our blue box set up here and we've been looking for upside. It went up, came down here, but we knew that the cycle was upside. So even as it was coming down here, there was no reason to panic because we know that the cycle was not complete and we still needed to go up. All right, so now let's go down here into the lower degree and just have a look at that. So this is the daily. So I want to, if you look at the daily, that is what I was showing you, that we've got a wave 1, 2. We've got this one here going like that. Wave 1, 2, 3, and this one is a 4, and we're currently in this wave 5. I should have shown that in yellow, maybe just to be clear. So the yellow structure that you saw earlier on is this one here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and now to be able to know that this is a 5-wave structure, you need historical analysis as I've shown you. We've looked at this from the higher degree to the lowest degree. This will not always be a 5-wave structure, and you can only understand which structure it is if you've gone through a historical analysis. So this one is you can see here we've got a diagonal, wave 1, 2, and we've got a 3 here, and this is supposed to be our 4. Now within this, we are looking for this here. What we are seeing here on the 4-hour, this current pullback is what we're seeing as a wave 5. So we want that wave 5 to complete. It has not completed as yet, so we want to see a continuation to the upside. So let's go now to the 4 hour and the 1 hour so you can see why we're expecting more upside. This is it here on the DXY. So that's that. We've got the DXY and we're looking for more upside there. That is the corrective structure. So we are still bullish. We're still looking for this to go to the upside. I'm not going to go through this through the same detail on the euro, but I'll just show you that we are in a similar 5-wave structure. These are obviously inversely correlated, but we are in a similar 5-wave structure as we have in the DXY. So this is the 5-wave structure that we have on the euro. This is a leading diagonal here in wave 1, 2, and we've got this one as wave 3, 4, and we are also looking at this one to be making 5 waves here. Let me show you that 5 waves in a different degree, as this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we are currently here. We're looking to complete the last bit of a wave 5 so we can complete this structure here. Okay, so let's go again on the lower degree on the euro. So you can see, if you understand the structure from the higher degree to the lowest degree, and you understand the sequences in the cycle, and you understand the wave theory correctly, you'll be able to identify good trading opportunities. You'll be able to understand how wave theory works. So let's have a look here. This is the 4 hour. So as you can see with the 4 hour, we are still bearish. The indicator is showing us that we are still bearish. Even if we do get a pullback here, this should continue to the downside. We may get a bit of a pullback and still continue to the downside to complete that wave 5 on euro. Okay, so that is the structure. So we are bearish on the US dollar is actually bullish against most of its paired currencies. So let's have a look here on the pound US dollar. Again, here I'm going to show you the higher degree structure so you can get why we are bearish on pound US dollar as well. So pound US dollar on the daily, but maybe let's go to the weekly so you can understand as well. So weekly structure, if you remember this for a couple of months, if not years, since this has been around this level, we've been trading this structure, and we've been looking at this structure to be an expanding flat. This is actually a running flat because it does not break the top here. Instead, it just makes that running flat and it starts continuing to the downside. We are currently bearish. Okay, so pound is still bearish, and you'll see most of the pound pairs are bearish, and we're still looking for more upside. Okay, so that is on the weekly. So if we're on the weeklies, that means going into the lower degree, we'll be looking for this here. Let's have a look here. Any opportunities to the downside, we'll be looking to trade it to the downside here on the 4 hour. So pound, US dollar, just look for any pullbacks. We'll be looking for something like that. Okay, so that is pound US dollar. Continues into the downside. We can have pullbacks, can have a deeper one, but we'll still look for this one to continue to the downside. We are still bearish. Right, so US dollar CAD. Right, so US dollar CAD. Let's have a look here on the US dollar CAD. We want to see US dollar CAD at least push to this side here to around this level. Let me show you this structure here on the website here. Let's just show the chart that we've got on the US dollar CAD so you can get a perspective. That's US dollar CAD. Okay, let's have a look here on the daily chart on US dollar CAD. So if you look on the daily chart on US dollar CAD, we are bullish as you can see. The US dollar has been showing strength over the last couple of months. So we are looking for this one to continue making a move to the upside. So if you look at this here, we're looking for a 5-wave structure to play out here in this fashion. Okay, but that is on the daily. Let's have a look at the 4 hour. So on the 4 hour, we are looking at this to have already started this wave 1. Just look out for this wave 1 here. It is this one here in the lower degree. It is this wave 1 here. You can see here in the lower degree, and then when you expand it on the 4 hour, that is your wave 1. And this is possibly the start of the upside here with this wave 1 in red like that. But is this now the lower degree in green, or this could still, let me show you the possibilities here. 1, this is 2, this could continue to the upside. But there's another alternative, which we're expecting this to push to the upside. But if it does make a move like this, that does not change anything. It just means that this red wave 2, remember this is your wave 1, just means that this red wave 2 will not be here, but rather here. And instead of having a simple pullback in 3 waves, you will have this as a flat. Possibilities are there. So that is what we have here. So, but for now, we'll look for it to push a bit higher. So continuation to the upside on US dollar CAD. So that is what we're looking at going into the new week. Look out for that. Not necessarily a new trading opportunity there. All right, so let's have a look here on US dollar CHF. US dollar CHF, 2 weeks back, we were looking for this one to complete a structure like this. It has made a structure here in 3 waves like that. Okay, so we've got this one, this move here. If you look at the video from 3 weeks back, we looked for this one to drop here and continue to the upside. Let's have a look at the bigger structure here on US dollar chief so you can understand where we're going with this. All right, so this is what is happening here with the US dollar chief. If you look at the daily chart here, you've got 3 waves to the upside here, and what we're getting here is a corrective structure. We're getting a corrective structure here like this. I want to use a different color. So this is what we have there. So US dollar chief, as much as we are bullish on US dollar chief, we may get this one here. Let me change the color here and you'll see the difference. So we can have this structure playing out like this, pushing down here before we get that yellow to the upside. And that yellow can also just go sideways there, and we have a structure like this, 1, 2, and you can have 1, 2. Okay, so for now, we're currently here, so we want to see this continue to the upside here, take the top and possibly come down here. But this green wave here, I just don't want to complicate it, can even be more complex. Okay, so let's go down to the 4-hour, and I'm going to show you what I mean by that green purple degree being more complex. Let's have a look at that. So that can be a little bit more complex than what it is now, because if you look at this, let's have a look at it. If you look at this, you've got what looks like a running flat there. Let's show that. That's running flat. So that means you've got 1, 2, 3 waves. And you've got 1, 2, 3 waves. So now if this is the case, this can pull back from current levels and give you a structure like this. 1, 2, 3 there. Not like that. So that will be the move. So you should get a purple completing the structure. So you'll get your purple. Whether it comes down in 5 waves or 3, that'll be fine. So you can see here, it can be more complex. We can still be more sideways. And this will be an ABC corrective structure. Okay, ABC corrective structure. In the purple degree, you can have your WXY corrective structure here. So very likely this can pull back from current levels. Okay, so that is a US dollar chief. Let's see how that plays out. AUD US dollar. You all remember what our analysis was a couple of weeks back. We have been looking for this to drop from here. So if we got the setup here. If you remember, you can go back to the videos, just click on AUD US dollar and look at our analysis. We've been looking for this one to just go like that. So we've got the move to the downside, but it pulled back in 3 waves. When it pulled back, we could see that it was making a simple 3-wave structure with an expanding flat here, blue box, and then it drops. This was exactly our blue box in the last week, and we'll be looking for this one to drop, and we're still looking for that continuation to the downside. A simple WXY corrective structure here, and we're expecting continuation to the downside. That is the same thing with the New Zealand US dollar as well. A very clear 3-wave structure to the upside for pullback. So you've got this one here a couple of weeks back. We were looking for this one. This one was a bit complex. Let's show this one has got a B complex B correction. If you look at that, you've got 1, you've got 2, you've got 3 there. And internally here, you've got a similar 3 waves in green for your wave B. So that is your ABC corrective structure pullback. If you remember, you can go back to the videos. You'll see that we've been saying it is bearish and we're looking for more downside. We got this move from the blue box, drops around here, and it pulls back in 3 waves again. Now, as you can see here, as it was pulling back last week, we expected this to drop. Okay, we expected this to drop because we're getting another blue box. Even though it pulled back from our entry, we could see that the cycle was not complete and it was going up correctively. So that is a pullback. So we're still expecting more downside on New Zealand. Let's see how that plays out into the new week. US dollar ZAR, this is similar to US dollar CAD. So what we could have here on US dollar ZAR, as I've indicated last time, we've got this one looking like a WXY 11 string sequence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. So we could see US dollar ZAR continue to the downside before a push to the upside. So let's watch out for this structure here and see when it confirms, if it's going to confirm more upside. Okay, so let's see. Confirmation will be when this one gets out of this structure. For now, we're looking at this one as a WXY, X, and a Z. Then after the completion of the Z, we'll expect this one to start making a move to the upside. Let's see how that plays out. Pound yen. Now, pound yen, let's have a look here on the daily. So most of the pound pairs are dropping. As much as this is a yen pair, but most of the pound pairs are dropping, and pound yen is similar to pound US dollar. As you can see, we've got this big regular flat structure here, as much as we may expect this to push to the upside, there's a clear divergence at this stage, showing us that we may just get this one continuing to push to the downside. Okay, so we need to get confirmation as to whether this is now ready or ripe for a move to drop to the downside. You've seen pound US dollar has already dropped. Will pound yen do the same? Looking at this structure, we're expecting exactly the same thing, that is your A, B, C corrective structure. I've been showing this for a couple of years now. This structure, as you can see here, you've got the ending diagonal here. You've got what looks like a 1, 2, 3 waves there, 1, 2, 3 waves there, and you've got 5 waves here. So that makes that structure a ABC corrective structure. So it looks like the 5 waves have completed and we're ready for that drop. You've got clear divergence between what looks like a wave 1, 2, 3, and a 4, which is what you expect. So you're supposed to have divergence there. We've got that divergence and we're looking for any signs of a drop. Okay, we're not looking for upside, and that is on the daily. Let's have a look in the lower degree. We've had a bit of a pullback on towards the close of the market last week, but is that a reversal? So we're still likely going to have this one giving us a pullback here in 3 and looking for this one to give us continuation to the downside. Could this be the one that takes us all the way down? Because if we do get that confirmation, we're going to see a couple of hundreds of pips to the downside on pound yen. Okay, let's have a look here. But US dollar yen, because of the US dollar strength, has been pushing up higher and higher. And for you to understand why the US dollar has been pushing up higher is because of this weekly structure. Look at this weekly structure on US dollar ZAR, simple ABC corrective structure. Let's have a look here on US dollar yen. So this is a pulsing move. This is a corrective structure. Look at this one here. The drop, and then we're looking for this one to continue to the upside. Maybe I must just use different colors. So we've got this one here. Let's show a different color for the correction here. So if you look at this one, this is a move to the upside. This is a move to the downside. But this moves to the upside as well. So you've got an expanding flat there. This is drop. This is a move to the downside here. No, that actually does not complete there. So let's have a look here. So the move here ends here. Let's have a look here. You've got a running flat there with 1, 2, 3. Then we're starting to make a move to the upside. So this is a 5-wave move to the upside. In that purple degree, it's actually going to be in the yellow. So this is what we're looking at here. Continuation to the upside. Okay, so that's what we have on US dollar yen. It is bullish just like the DXY because of the US dollar in it. Okay, so that is that. That is a US dollar yen, or rather I must show you the lower degree. It is still showing upside, but then you don't have a new entry. As you can see, it has already gone, and we have been looking for that to continue pushing to the upside. From here, we've been looking for continuation to the upside. Even when you had this structure here, all these corrective structures, we have been bullish US dollar yen. Even here, as you can see, we're still looking for this to continue to the upside. Any pullback, it's actually risky now. You don't want to buy too high. You want a clear entry for you to ride onto the trend. All right, so let's have a look here on Euro Yen. So Euro Yen, just looking on the 4-hour only, you'll be looking, this one has already made a passing move here. You can get a bit of a pullback and a bit of a continuation to the upside. So let's just have a look at this one, getting to around the 31 area. Okay, so that is Euro Yen. So, but these getting to 31 could just be giving us a bigger correction for more downside. Okay, I'm not going to go into the higher degree structure to show why that could continue to the downside. Now we've got CHF Yen here. So CHF Yen has got a clear structure. We've got a wave 1, 2, 3 here, and this one could be pushing to the upside in the next coming sessions as follows. So you've got here a move to the upside, back, and we'll be looking for this one to continue to around 126.5. So still bullish around this level, but if you wanted to complete the structure, you'll see that we've got 3 waves down here, W, the whole thing here could be X, Y before we continue to the upside. Okay, so that is CHF Yen on the 4-hour. AUD Yen, let's have a look. Now AUD Yen showing a bit of a bullish move, so we would have expected AUD Yen to drop with AUD US dollar, but it has been pushing to the upside. Let's have a look here. So there is some divergence here, and the AUD Yen may very likely continue to drop here, start the drop here. From here, we can start seeing AUD Yen dropping from that level. So let's have a look here. We've got a clear three-wave structure. You've got this one here. This can be a nice complex corrective structure here like that before we push to the upside. So watch out for this in the coming week. We could be dropping at this level. All right. So watch out for any signs of a drop there on AUD Yen. Does not look like it will push up higher. Even if we do see a bit of a push up higher, we can still drop there. So watch out on AUD Yen. New Zealand, the same. Let's have a look at New Zealand. So New Zealand also looking like it has completed this expanding flat. So we want to see here if that is the end of the move and we start the drop. Okay, so that is New Zealand Yen and AUD Yen. CAD Yen similar. Let's have a look. Now CAD Yen is a bit different because it has made a continuation pattern here. Let's have a look here. So the continuation pattern on CAD Yen is 1, 2, 3. Clear three-wave structure, and this is now pushing to the upside. Now, if you look at how this started, you started here with a 1, 2, 3-wave move to the upside, and we could be getting another 3 waves here as well. Let's have a look here. We could be getting another 3 waves here as well to make this one a WXY corrective structure. So still bullish here, CAD Yen, we can still push to the upside to around this level. Okay, but you'll see that that structure will not be complete even if you do get to that level. We could be getting this bigger corrective structure here like this. Let's have a look. And then upside here. So you could get it, this one here looking like an A, like a B, and a C here. Okay, I'm not going to go into the details of the lower degree. So you can see the bigger structure. This is what we're looking for, and this is why we'll be short-term bullish to at least around this level on CAD Yen. Right, so those are all the yen pairs. Let's have a look at gold. Now, gold, if you look at a 1 4 hour, you won't see anything. You won't know which direction we're looking at on gold. Why has gold been bullish? You have to look at the weekly chart. Let's have a look here at the weekly chart so you can see. Okay, so those that have been with us since 2013, 2014 will remember this structure. So this was a structure that started building around 2015. As you can see here, we have been looking for gold to continue pushing to the upside from here. From 2015, we've been doing this video since 2011. So over 11 years, we've been doing this. But let's have a look here on this one. So we are looking at gold as making 1, 2, 3, and this one being a 4, and going this one going for a 5. Okay, so gold is making a simple 5-wave structure: 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. Okay, so we've been around this level for a while, even looking at this one to be making a possible flat correction. So gold, if gold comes back to around 1,600, that will still be a valid cycle. Okay, but for now, we are still bullish. We're looking for gold to complete the 5 waves there in yellow. Okay, whether it's going to be a pullback and a flat, that we can still decide. But for now, gold is still bullish and can break above 3 and go straight and complete a wave 5. Okay, so that is what we're looking at on gold. Okay, so let's have a look here. To understand the gold structure, you can go to our videos from around 2014, 2015. You'll see that we have been looking at this structure. So initially, when this structure started, we're even looking at it to making just a simple corrective structure like this. Simple corrective structure where we can get something like this, we can get something like this, and then gold continue to push to the upside. Okay, so that was never confirmed yet, and instead we continue to the upside there. Right, so that is gold. And silver, very clear structure as well. I'm showing you this on the higher degree, but before I go to silver, let me just show you the lower degree structure on gold so you can see how bullish this is. So you can see gold has made a 3-wave pullback again. So gold in the next week will continue to push to the upside. We will see 2100 again, and maybe even higher in the next week. Okay, silver, again, you need to understand why we are bullish silver. Let's go to the weekly so you can understand. I'm giving you a lot of higher degree structures, and this is what helps you understand the structure. Silver, is it ready for a leg to the upside to 34? But let's have a look at that first. So if you look at silver, similar to the gold structure, you've got a move here, an impulsive move from 2020, looking like this. There's a correction here, and silver looks to have made a flat correction here and started to make a move to the upside. But how do you know that this move is complete? Because this move could turn out to be a corrective structure, 1, 2, 3, and we still in a corrective structure. We can still be a corrective structure like this before we make a move to the upside. We can push to the upside from right here. We can have this as a WXY corrective structure, and silver can continue pushing to the upside. So that is what we're looking at on the commodities, and that is silver and gold. Let's have a look here on platinum. Right, so platinum, similar. It has also made a corrective structure. If you look at that impulse there, have a look at that. This is actually a three-wave structure here, and we are correcting in 3 waves. As you can see, it's a move to the downside. This looks likely like a corrective structure, more clearer than gold and silver. Let's have a look here. So we could be looking for a move to the downside here. Let's have a look here. We need to get a confirmation. Do not rush into this. Wait for confirmation and use your own strategy to confirm this. But we're looking at this as a possible correction or a pullback that will continue to the upside. Still bullish on platinum and the commodities as a whole. Let's have a look at Brent crude oil. So Brent crude oil has made a very interesting structure. Let's have a look at the bigger structure. You have to look at this on the weekly. Look at the weekly chart. Looks like we've made a big flat correction there. That's an impulsive move to the downside. This is a 3-wave pullback. 1, 2, 3. And if this is the case on oil and this has completed, this is an internal structure here, you could have this one pulling back to complete this structure like this. Can we really go back to the lows that we've seen in 2008 as far as oil is concerned? So if this structure confirms, we can go very low on oil. If you remember, in 2019 we dropped below zero. I don't know if some of you remember how we almost dropped below zero on oil in around 2018, 2019. Okay, so there was a flush to the downside there. So that is the structure. There's a possibility of that. So let's see how oil plays out there. So we've got a pullback, a deeper pullback here. We have been looking at this to complete this flat correction in 5 waves, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've got this extended 5th wave. Is it time for oil now to start pulling back? Let's have a look here in the lower degree. Okay, so let's have a look here on the daily. Now on the daily, let's have a look here. So that is oil. Looking on the daily, we've got a deeper pullback, a strong impulsive move to the downside, but this does not confirm anything yet. As far as the indicator is concerned, this has not confirmed any downside. So let's see what happens in the new week. We're going to wait for that confirmation to see if oil is going to give us a deeper corrective structure from that level. All right, so let's have a look here. Pound pairs. Now, pound pairs, we have been looking at these structures. So pound AUD, we have been looking at this one to make a clear 3-wave structure like this. We've been looking at this as 3, 1, 2, 3, and a move to the upside. But this, the third leg here, which is W, our X has got a short leg here, WXY. You've got a shorter leg Y here, but this is an acceptable structure because Y has broken above W, so that is acceptable according to the rules. So you can have a WXY with a shorter leg Y here and the drop. So now all you're waiting for here is a pullback here. Any pullback will give you an opportunity for a trade to the downside. So let's have a look at this one here. Look out for pullbacks. Could come around this level, but you could see this one continuing to the downside into the new trading session. All right, so that is what we have there on pound AUD, pound New Zealand. Now, pound New Zealand has got a clearer structure if you look at it on the daily. So pound New Zealand was clear from the beginning when we were looking at this pullback. Look at this one here. Textbook set up there. 1, 2, 3, blue box and the drop. Okay, so that is a pound New Zealand. Simple drop there. Now all you need to do is just look for pullbacks and continuation patterns to the downside. We are bearish, but do not enter at this level. Remember, you want to buy low and sell high, and you want to sell high and buy low. That is how you should trade. At this stage, this is too low for you to sell, so you want to wait a bit and wait for confirmation. So that is a pound New Zealand. Pound CAD. Okay, pound CAD, similarly, we've made this 3-wave pullback here on pound CAD. This is what we've been looking at in the last couple of days. 1, 2, 3, and a continuation to the downside. We are bearish. Any pullback here looks for a continuation to the downside. Okay, so that is pound CAD, pound chief. Right, pound chief. 1, 2. Let's just show you here. So pound chief, let's have a look at pound chief. I want to show you the bigger structure here on pound chief. Now, if you look at pound chief is not different to pound US dollar. The only difference is that pound chief has made a big zigzag correction from 2020 up to this level. This is the big zigzag correction. I'm going to show you this one here and what the relationship is with this structure here. So you see here, there's also a 3-wave structure here. And if you look at this one here, there's a big 3-wave structure here. So 1, 2, 3. Why would we expect pound chief? We've been bearish pound chief for a while. Now we're expecting pound chief to continue pushing to the downside. What have I just done here? It will not make sense if you don't know how to connect the dots. And this is how we connect the dots. Look at this one here. You've got 3 waves up, 3 waves down. You've got this having broken the low here. This one has not broken the top here. So you've got a clear case of a running flat here. 1, 2, 3 pushes to the upside. So your running flat can play out from here, and this can continue the drop. This could have continued to the upside and make an expanding flat. Okay, but as it is now, we're looking for this one to continue lower. All right, so let's have a look here. Any pullback, you can expect this one to be bearish. All right, so that is a pound chief. That is a structure here. That is your running flat in purple there. Right, so let's look at the rest of the euro pairs. As you can see, the pound pairs are showing weakness. So you would naturally expect euro pound to be stronger. So this is what you're going to expect here. A move to the upside and a pullback here. Looks like we've had a 3-wave structure here. 1, 2, 3 corrective structure. So we could be getting this one here, having started like that, and goes for a expanding flat or a running flat, whichever one confirms. Let's see how that plays out. All right, that is a euro pound, euro AUD. Right, euro AUD. You've got 1, 2, 3 up. That was the pullback that we looked at in the last week. So we wanted this one to push a little bit higher for a move to the downside. So this we would have even expected it to test that level here with a 3-wave structure, comes back down and move to the upside and then drop. Then it would have made this structure, but that structure has been invalidated. What you're looking at now is that this is all a correction and this is ready for a drop. We've got to move to the downside. We've got a 3-wave pullback. All you want to see now is 3-wave corrective structures for a continuation to the downside. That is a euro AUD, euro New Zealand. Euro New Zealand is clear. It's a classic case of an expanding flat. We have been on a move to the downside. As you can see, 3 waves down, 3 waves pull back here. Look out for continuation to the downside. Any 3-wave pullback, look for a continuation to the downside. We are bearish. Similarly, Euro CAD is also bearish, looking for continuation to the downside. Okay, so look at this one here. We looked at this one last week. A couple of weeks back, we're looking for this one to be a pullback. And that has just been the story. We've just been bearish Euro CAD as well, right? Euro CAD, Euro Chief. Similarly, Chief pairs have been bearish, all the Chief pairs from when this was making this 3-wave structure here. If you look at this one here, a clear big corrective structure starting from 2020. I'm showing you this on the higher degree structure, higher degree time frame. So to get setups here, you need to go to the 4-hour. Let's have a look here. So what I've done there is, you can see there's a pullback. So we expect this one to just make a 3-wave structure and continue to the downside. To get the detail, you obviously have to go down to the 4-hour or the 1-hour. So you can see the structure here. So let's have a look here. This may even drop from current levels. Okay, so you could have this one doing that. So we expect this one to do that, continue to the upside and the drop. A clear corrective structure, whether it's a WXY or an ABC corrective structure. Let's see how that plays out. All right, let's have a look at the crosses. Now the crosses, we've had the drop last week after this, what we looked at as a corrective structure. This has been a move to the upside. If you remember last week, we showed how, or the week before, we showed you how this was bearish and we're looking for now continuation to the downside. We have dropped, we've made what looks like a corrective structure. Is this the continuation to the upside? There's a likelihood that this only makes a pullback like this. And if it makes just a pullback like this, we are ready for a move to the downside. We will wait for this structure to confirm, then we start selling this one for the long term. That is AUD New Zealand, AUD CAD. AUD CAD, as you can see here, bearish, clear case of a bearish structure, expanding flat, textbook correction here. Look for this one to continue to the downside. We have been bearish on most of the crosses for a while now. Even when they do make pullbacks, you know that they're just making corrective structures and they're going to continue to the downside. So that is AUD CAD, AUD CHF. AUD CHF still pushing to the upside. I would expect AUD CHF to start dropping now from that level. So we've made a clear three-wave structure here on AUD CHF. I'm expecting this one to start pushing to the downside. You can even make a case of a running flat there, running flat as follows. That's the running flat. That's the running flat. We can start dropping from current levels. Watch out for AUD CHF. New Zealand CAD also started a move to the downside. So we've got here a clear three-wave structure on New Zealand CAD, and we are now dropping. Okay, let's see how this one plays out. New Zealand CHF. New Zealand CHF has made a three-wave structure here. I'm expecting a drop here. Three-wave structure and continuation to the downside. So that is the theme with the crosses. Let's have a look at CAD Yen. So you can see those pairs that are paired that have got the CAD as the quoted currency are dropping, and here we've got CAD as the base currency. So you can see that we've got a clear three-wave structure, and we'll be expecting this one to continue pushing to the upside. So this is what we're expecting here with CAD CHF. We can get a move back to around 75. Look for continuation pattern here. We can get a pullback here before continuation pattern on CAD CHF. That's that on the Forex pairs, commodities, as well as the indices. Now let's go to the indices. The indices have shown a couple of weeks back when the reversal was going to start. If you remember, I've compared the Dow Jones Industrial Average as well as the Dow Jones Transportation Average. So let's have a look here. There was a relative strength between transportation average and industrial average. Let's have a look here. Let me show you that comparison again and how we looked at it before these moves. So that was a transportation, rather industrial average. We compared it to, let's compare. We compared it to the transportation average. I want to do the comparison here. Transportation, there we go. So the two averages, how we spotted the reversal is this. Look at the transportation and the transportation in yellow or orange. It's actually rather orange, I'm colorblind. Look at the industrial average. The industrial average has been making higher highs. And this is not relative strength index, because that is a momentum indicator. Now here we're talking about relative strength between two averages. Now, according to Dow theory, these must confirm the highs. The higher highs and lower lows must confirm each other for the trend to continue. Now, we know that if the trends or the higher highs don't confirm and we get divergence, we know that a reversal is imminent. Look at this, okay? So if you look at this last piece here, look at this one here. This already made a reversal around this date here. Let's pull it up here. You can see that already here, the transportation average between, let's check the date, between mid-November and December, we already had divergence, and that was already an indicator that we are going to see a reversal in that area there. Okay, let's highlight this. What is happening between this and this? We're making a new high. What is happening between this and this? We're making a new low. This is what we call relative strength, and you need to know which pairs to compare in order for you to confirm the reversal. In this case, if you're looking at the indices, we use the Dow Jones Industrial as well as the Dow Jones Transportation Average. Simple like this, and we knew that even if this is pushing to the upside, a reversal is imminent. That's why you see a reversal across the indices. Let's have a look now individually. Let's remove this. Okay, S&P 500, that reversal was imminent, as you've seen. and we're now looking for this to push to the downside. We've got 1, 2. This could be a 3-wave structure. You can have a 3-wave structure. You can have this one giving us a double correction here. But what we're looking for is a deeper correction or a big correction on the S&P 500 and the rest of the indices. Okay, let's wait for that confirmation. All right, similarly, Dow Jones, we've already talked about this in the transportation. They're already giving us corrective structures here. Is this all the correction? Because what we have here is a 3-wave structure. 1, 2, 3. Is that all the correction? Or this can still give us a double like this? Let's see. We'll be waiting for that confirmation. That is transportation. NASDAQ is very bearish. So we've got this one, it's coming down in 5 waves. And if this is 5 waves, it means we can still have 3 waves, we can still have another 5 waves, and then continuation to the upside. But NASDAQ is showing us a bearish move. A big corrective structure could be imminent on the NASDAQ, and it's already underway. All right, UK 100. The UK 100 is still bearish after breaking out of that ending diagonal. Let's switch on there so you can see that ending diagonal. You can see that ending diagonal in yellow broke down there after the 5-wave move here. Let's switch this one off again. So this looks like a 5-wave move to the upside here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5 here with an ending diagonal. So we've got to move down here in 3 waves. It looks like we've got another 3 waves here. I'm going to go down to the 1 hour so you can see the 3 waves clearly. So on the 1 hour on the UK 100, looks like we've got another 3 waves, and this looks pretty bearish. So we could be looking for a move to the downside into the new trading week. So watch out for this and for a move to the downside. Okay, so that is the UK 100. The DAX also making what looks like a bit of a pullback. Let's go back to the 4 hour.